Welcome to Joint Adventure, and thank you for joining us. If you get here, it means you want to know more about who we are.
Understandable. And we are?
Well, let's find out. This way, please.
So here we are.
At our first stop.
Romana spent her childhood and early teens in a big house. There was often music in the air. Romana, when did you first realize that music was an important part of your life?
Oh, I was very young. One day they let me sit on the piano stool. It was wonderful. I put my hands on the keys. There were only sounds, but I loved them. What about you, Dario?
Music was in my family too. My mother was a trained mezzo-soprano and often sang to me and my brother, or in the company of friends.
And your father?
Sometimes he joined in too.
How did you get interested in playing an instrument?
Watching my elder brother making music with his friends. Then, when I was about 11, I played my first chords on a friend's guitar.
Never stopped since then.
In fact, we better not stop.
You're right. So, let's continue on our timeline. This way, please. On your resume here, says that you were supposed to go to art school, but for family reasons, actually got enrolled in a state commerce institute from which you graduated.
That's right. On yours, I see that you studied photography in a state institute, then you attended Turin University. What did you study?
Foreign languages, that is English and Spanish.
And you kept playing?
Oh, I was always in some band, usually short-lived. Then I got interested in theater. My first appearance on stage was as a one-man band providing the soundtrack for a troupe of young actors in my hometown of Turin.
You became an actor too, right?
The year after, I was 17. 18 when I entered a professional theater company. I toured Europe with them for 6 years.
Then you moved to New York, where you remained 3 years studying acting, directing, music and dance.
Yes.
Where at?
Oh, I attended the Lee Strasberg Theatre Institute, then studied singing and music with Juilliard Conservatory alumni Alexander Yancey Jr. and John Harris, and won a scholarship from the Merce Cunningham Dance Foundation.
What about music performing?
Oh, I managed to join some concert projects with which I was able to play in San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Orlando, Florida, the Epcot Center,
Yes.
and other stuff. And of course, New York. I was really happy to perform at Carnegie Hall in 1985. Meanwhile, you were...
I kept writing all the time
Of course.
and attended to my family, but I never stopped studying art and literature. I also got interested in theology,
Wow,
and I attended many formation seminars.
that sounds very impressive. I see here that you also taught in several different places.
That's part of the next stop.
Oh, then let's move along. This way, please. So you taught music appreciation to young people, among other things.
Among other things.
Where at?
Mostly in ongoing seminars organized in Turin, Italy, the city where I was living at the time. You, instead, moved to Tokyo, where you also taught.
Yes, among other things.
shared what I learned in the fields of music, dance, and theater. They were very intense years during which I honed my teaching techniques.
In the 27 years you spent in Japan, you have reached the hearts of many students, especially young people, I see.
Yes, but I had also some special activities for adults who wanted to get closer to art. Japanese people are very interested in culture and really appreciate those who work in that field.
You have been resident professor, visiting professor, resident stage director in 8 universities. Among them, Tokyo National University of the Arts, Kunitachi University of Music, Nagoya University of Arts. You also have given dozens of master classes in opera, acting, modern singing, in Japan, South Korea, and, of course, Italy.
Well, you haven't been idle yourself. Writing, acting, singing.
Wait, don't run so fast.
Okay.
We still have to tell a few more things about ourselves.
You're right. This way, please. It says here that you kept writing for the stage and then became supervisor for a regional music academy.
That's right. At a certain point, I got tired of the city life and moved back to my birthplace, getting involved with its cultural scene. I wrote 1, sometimes 2 scripts a year, which were then put on stage by a local company.
Well, it must have been fun.
It was. And most of all, it allowed me to work freely on creative projects. Speaking of which, do you want to say something about your creative activities in Japan?
Oh, sure, but please help me do it.
During my stay in Japan, I busied myself in many fields of art and entertainment. I also had the opportunity to play guitar with wonderful musicians on the stage of many important theaters.
For instance, Tokyo Kyo Hall and NHK Bunkakaikan. You also were active on TV.
Yes, mostly I worked on national NHK TV, for which I also compose often soundtrack music. Between 1994 and 2005, I appeared in 11 consecutive seasons as a host for the educational program Italia Go Kaiwa.
Starring also on radio and various publications. Movies too.
Right, some guest appearances here and there. Then, in 2001, I was asked to join a huge production for NHK High Definition channel. I played the character of Marco Polo in the colossal series Hojo Tokimune.
And in 2004, you directed your first opera, Puccini's Tosca, at Tokyo Suntory Hall with a cast of international stars. You continued in that field, staging about 30 titles: Verdi, Puccini, Donizetti, Rossini, Mozart, Bizet, and many others in important Japanese theaters. You were also repeatedly requested in South Korea at the Daegu International Opera Festival. And meanwhile, you kept teaching and holding masterclasses.
Yes, I was attached to Tokyo New National Theatre's Young Artists Training Program for 11 years as a lecturer on acting for singers. I also taught special courses on the same subject for the Japan Opera Foundation and the Nikikai Opera.
Which I understand are the two most important opera organizations of Japan. Any musical?
I taught musical for 5 years at the Tokyo Showa Music Academy, staging 3 productions of major musicals. Me and My Girl, 5 Guys Named Mo, and Little Shop of Horrors.
In 2008, you got this from our President of the Republic, a knighthood for special merits in promoting Italian culture in the world.
Yes. Well, I certainly didn't expect it, although I was happy to see that somebody noticed what I was doing for culture. But you also received a prize. If I remember well, it's a special mention at the National Theatre for the School review of 2015 for your original script, Dirandando. How did you feel?
It was important for me. It made me understand that I had the capacity to fly by myself, so to speak.
So to speak. Let's do it! So here we are, folks.
I felt quite comfortable, and you?
Super. I just wanted to tell you that in these past few years, since we finally got together, we kept doing the things we love best.
Writing, acting, making music.
Speaking of writing, we published a novel online. It's in Italian, but hey, we're open to editors who would want to have it translated. Speaking of acting, we founded a company which we called
Teatro del Leone.
And an acting project with the name Double Action.
Speaking of music, we got busy with a music duo and started a channel on how to learn to play guitar from zero to hero and music culture.
Oh yeah? What do you call that?
We call it
Joint Adventure.